Self-awareness is all about being self-aware, being aware of your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, the way that you treat others, the way that you show up in the world, and being aware of what you're doing and putting out in the world. Now, that's obviously not the definition, but that is my perception of it. Being consciously aware of the impact that you have, not only on the world, but in your close relationships, aware of your beliefs, aware of who you are in this world, aware of what's going on, because our mind and our feelings and everything within this human consciousness is crazy, and it's a journey to be self-aware. Self-awareness also, in my mind, is the opposite of reactive. It is emotional intelligence. It is responsive to the world. It is responding to the world. It is the opposite of victim mindset, being a victim of your life. And that is what we're going to dive into first. So, to be self-aware, we have to let go of the blame of the world. Now, all of our lives, we have lived and we have blamed as if, let's say you have a certain belief, because we talk a lot about beliefs on this channel, or on this, I have this podcast on YouTube, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcast. Make sure you follow wherever you're listening to this. But your beliefs are controlled and built up until age 7. Now, you can get some more beliefs as life goes on, but mostly your subconscious mind is formed up until ages 0 to 7. You're a sponge, and you absorb the world, the circumstances that you've experienced, what your parents have told you, what your friendships have said to you, your close friends, the teachers in your life, your family, your friends, what you learn in school. Everything is programming you. You're a sponge to the world, and you absorb what you see. You're sensitive. Your neurotransmitters are getting connected within your subconscious mind. So you're practically in this hypnotized state because you're learning about the world, and any traumatic experiences, any bullying, any, good and bad, whatever it is, that is getting programmed within you. What you see is what you mirror. And not all the time, but many times we live by this idea that I am this way because of this. I am this way because I had this experience. I am this way because of my past. We live victim to the past, as if we can't change because of the past, as if it is not our fault because of the past. Now, I'm not saying that, if you had a traumatic experience, I'm not saying it's your fault. It is not your fault. But, and this is hard to hear a lot of the times, depending on the experience as well, but there comes a time in life where we have to take control of what we do now. Because it's not about what has happened, but it's about how we handle it. It's about what we do now. A lot of the times we blame others for the way that we are. We blame others for the way that we think, for our life experience, for our life circumstance. And we either send hate, we react, we judge, we criticize, we ridicule, we even cut off people based off of something from the past, which, if that is, what you need, good. But a lot of the times we live in this anger because of it, victim and mad because of it, upset about the way that our life is because of other people. Self-awareness is the opposite of this. And it's tough. It's a tough journey because it's kind of easier to blame others than to take control of your life and even to forgive. Now, I made an episode, it was episode 8 on the ultimate guide to peace, and I talk about forgiveness within that episode. That's like one of my my favorite episodes. I highly recommend you go watch it, okay? You can save it for after this, save it for later, but it's such an important episode. But a lot of the times we hold anger and grudges and we stay blaming outside things for the way that we are. We think we can't change. We think we're not in control. We feel as if life is out of control because of XYZ. Not even people, not even just, situations, but also, sometimes what we are diagnosed with. We blame. And, it is okay to blame sometimes. I get it. Like, if you have ADHD, I'm not saying, oh, you can't do I'm not saying that just because you have ADHD doesn't mean you can't do this. Like, there's very much real things, of course. Real people, real experiences, real diagnoses, etc. And I'm validating you in your experience, okay? This is not to say that, oh, you take control. I'm not trying to give that, negative energy and saying that. What I'm saying is that you are ultimately more than all of this and in control in the way that you move forward from all of this. And it's the hard step to take this victim blaming and to move into this conscious observer of your life and conscious creator. It's tough because our ego likes to blame. It's easier to blame. It really is. And our ego doesn't want to take responsibility for some things that we don't and do. And our ego doesn't like not victim blaming because it's easier. And that's just how the ego is made. I made an episode on the ego and overthinking and the mind. You can go watch it, but the ego's crazy. And it also likes to stay in the known. So, if I say something that triggers your ego, it's because your ego might be trying to hold on to the known. As in, hold on to blaming other things and not change. Because change is the biggest thing that the ego doesn't want to hear. Because it's so used to the known. And it's nice because it just wants to keep you alive. It's trying to be sweet, but sometimes we don't need it. So the first step of self-awareness is getting rid of this blame. Yes, something might have happened in the past. Yes, someone might have been rude to you. Yes, something might have happened. But it's done. And that person is off living their life. That circumstance is only now a memory in your mind, trapped energy in your body. But it's your responsibility to heal and work through it. Which is the hard part of self-awareness. It's sometimes diving into things that are untouched for years and years, repression, things that we don't want to look at, and it's sometimes hard to bring it up. This is called shadow work. Now, there's a difference sometimes between healing and, just like living by the terms that you want to live to. But sometimes we do need to heal certain things, or we need to feel and see what is wrong in order to move past it, to create new circumstances in the future. Last episode 14, I said I'd be creating this episode on how to become self-aware, because you need to be self-aware in order to manifest consciously. Because if you, up until this point, are victim blaming and blaming certain things, you're unconsciously attracting future circumstances to happen again. And not all the time, of course not. But if we live by this idea that we can't change and that we are victim to our beliefs, then we are unconsciously attracting the known. And what is, we have to step into the unknown to create our dream lives. And that starts with not blaming anything but ourselves and how we handle our beliefs. So it's tough, alright? It is a little bit, because it's easy to blame, like I said. And I don't know your circumstance. I don't know what has happened in the past. Something really bad could have happened, and it's really hard to, just detach from it. And I'm not asking you to detach, but how will we move forward? And it's hard sometimes to move forward because you have to dive into the pain. But is that worse? on. What you believe can't be true. What you believe you're not capable of. What you believe, you're worthy of because of past circumstances. I read a book called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer, and it's the perfect way to describe this. There's this theory in it, and I talked about this in an episode, I'm sure of it, but it's the thorn theory. Now, let's say you have a thorn in your arm, okay? Now, that thorn is really painful, and you can't even touch it, because every time you touch it, it stings your skin, and it moves, and it hurts your muscles. So you either adjust your life based on the thorn, or you pluck that thorn and heal around it. So a lot of us are living by the victim of the thorn. The thorn's in our arm. We can't touch it. We can't let anyone get too close, or else they might touch it. We have to put a cast on. Not only that, we have to buy something that's waterproof so nothing touches it. We have to take showers in a certain way. We have to eat a certain way. We have to go to sleep in an uncomfortable position based on the thorn. We have to move around, and we can't let people get too close because of the thorn. It's painful. If it bumps your cast, it will hurt. You don't drive because of the thorn. You don't do XYZ because of the thorn. We're living, adjusting our life based off of this thorn. Whether that thorn is the void of pain from getting hurt, or abuse, or negative, dark relationships, or the thorn is even simple as, or not simple, but let's say one person told you that you're not worthy of something, or a bad grade on a test made you believe that you're stupid, or something happened in the past that made you feel you're not worthy. We adjust our life victim blaming this thorn. Not letting people get too close because we might get hurt. Not letting us do our dream because we might fail. We live our life based off of the thorn. And what we really could do is we can look at the thorn, we can pluck it out of our skin and put a band-aid on it, some Neosporin, and heal it up. Might take a couple days for it to be fully healed, but our life is so much easier. So I feel like during a lot of this episode I was stumbling on how I describe this, but that describes it perfectly, because I don't want you to take it the wrong way. But like I say in just about every episode, black and white. Don't take it black and white. Take it with a grain of salt. What resonates, take it. What doesn't, leave it. We all have different beliefs, and there's only a certain amount of things that I can put into language, but there's so much to say here. And so, with that being said, healing is the first step to change and self-awareness. Not healing in a way that you have to cry your eyes out every day and go into this dark time. It doesn't have to be that way. But what I did is I journaled, and I continue to journal. When I'm overwhelmed, I journal. I write down my experience of the thoughts that I'm having, of the feelings that I'm experiencing, the circumstance that I'm going through, and I journal it out. I release it. A lot of the times we don't release it, and let's say in a relationship, for example, because it's easy to give this, in a relationship we might repress something, and then later we get in a fight, and then more stuff comes up, right? More things that you're upset about, more things that you don't like. Now, that didn't come out of nowhere. It was always there, but you repressed it. And a lot of the times we repress our stuff. We bottle it down in order to not feel it in that moment, in order to try to forget about because if you want to be self-aware, and be self-aware in relationships or the way that you are in this world, the way that you show up, you have to be aware of why you're having thoughts, of where they're coming from, of certain goals that you have with your thoughts. Now, another book reference, I'm currently reading The Courage to Be Disliked, and it's about a philosopher and a student talking back and forth. It's in dialogue, and the dialogue is the student doesn't believe people can change, the philosopher does. And the philosopher says that we use emotions to achieve certain purposes. We use emotions, we bring them up to accomplish something. Our behavior, the reason why we might even be getting sick, because we can manifest sickness, and we bring them up in order to achieve a certain purpose. Now, the goal into being self-aware is to understand this deeply. When you have an emotion, asking, why am I having this emotion? And understanding deeper and deeper into why. Let's say I have road rage. I don't even drive, but let's say I had road rage and I was driving and I was just getting so mad because people were going so slow, and I can react unconsciously, which is the opposite of self-aware, and just flick people off and be so angry and project. So the opposite of self-awareness is this constant projection of just reactivity. This whole episode is about how to be consciously responding. So let's say I'm getting mad, my road rage. Pause, breathe, and ask, why am I having this road rage? Your first thought might answer, because people are going so slow. Well, still, why are you having this road rage? Now, years ago, I created this why not method. I was gonna write a book on it, and it's about constantly asking yourself why, to dive into deeper seated problems. But it's also why not, like, why can't you be successful? Why not? And you answer that, and then you ask why, and you dive deeper into the whys. So for the road rage example, why am I having this road rage? Because people are going so slow. Still, okay, why are you having the road rage that people are going so slow? Well, because I have to get to, this place. Okay, why are you so mad? Why? And you dive deeper and you realize maybe it's because I think I'm more important than other people. Well, why are you not? Well, because we all have a place to go, and some people are going through some things, and maybe the person in front of me is having a really down day and just is you're able to talk about this consciously with your partner without reacting and getting angry and, letting bad things happen and, leaving the relationship, if you are able to talk about it, you will find that you attract beautiful relationships. You begin to heal it because you're aware of it, and you begin to rewire the story of what is possible. But only if you're self-aware, only if you're aware what's actually going on within your mind. Now, I did not finish mentioning the book, The Courage to be Disliked, about how we pull up emotions to fulfill certain purposes. So, for example, this mother, not all emotions, okay? Take this grain of salt. This mother, let's say, is yelling at her child out of frustration because he made a mess, is yelling, clean it up. You can't ever do that again. So mad. The phone rings. She goes to get it. Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you for calling. And then has the best conversation for 5 minutes, okay? Hangs it up. Goes right back into yelling. Not that the emotion isn't real, because to her it is real. She is frustrated, but behind the frustration, she only is trying to fulfill a purpose, to overcompensate, to overpower the child. People can make themselves sick, physically sick, so that they don't have to do something. Like if I didn't want to do work this week, like deep down, I didn't want to do work, I could make myself sick. I can catch a cold because my body is fighting. It's trying to fulfill my purpose of not doing work. The universe, God source, is constantly responding in our favor. We have the creator within us. Our mind is trying to fulfill our purpose. So constantly we are acting, reacting, doing things for a deeper level of purpose, whether it's good and bad. You might want to do something to get a reward. You might do something to get attention. You might think being negative equals attention, being angry equals love. Like, you might have associations as well, which is why it's very important to understand your whys as to why you react or feel a certain way. Why do you get offended? Do you believe it's true? What do you feel about yourself? And diving deep into the funnel of the whys in order to understand yourself better. This is hard at first, but it is the fundamental to all things. It is the fundamental of getting to know yourself. I made an episode on getting to know and love yourself if you want to look at that. It's episode 5, but I do think it's also really important if you want to be self-aware in communication to watch Conscious Communication in Relationships, episode 7, okay? Episode 7, Relationships, episode 5, Getting to know yourself more and love yourself as well. Self-awareness, self-acceptance, and loving yourself all go hand in hand. Please feel free to comment below what more you want to hear. If you want to hear any more of this, feel free to comment below and let me know what you resonated with, what episodes you want to hear. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm not sure if you can comment on Spotify and Apple Podcast. If you can, please do. I love you so much. I hope this helped. It's not like too much, I feel like, because I didn't have notes. I was a little bit unorganized, but it's just this episode. We'll be talking a lot about this within every episode. So, self-awareness, the ending of victim blaming, asking yourself why and how you want to move forward, the funnel of the whys, the why nots as well, and going deeper into what purpose you're trying to fulfill. Next time you find yourself angry, ask yourself, what purpose am I doing this for? Why? Next time you feel sad, certain emotions, it's hard to understand a purpose, but just ask why. Keep asking why. Because ages 0 to 7, when we got programmed in the first place about the way that we view ourselves and the perception of the world, children, they always ask why, all the time. That's how they learned about the world. Why? Well, why does why does this happen? Why? And they keep asking because they're learning about the world. They're getting programmed. To find the deep programs, we have to go back. We have to revert back. We have to look back as well. Look back into the past and understand why we're here because of that. But even if we're here because of that, it doesn't mean we move forward because of that. We can end the cycle. The present is the only real thing. I love you so much, and I hope you got value from this. I'm sorry if it was a little bit everywhere. I love you. I hope to see you again soon. Please subscribe, comment. If you're watching this Spotify or Apple podcast, follow, and I hope to see you again soon. I love you so much.